Let's be honest. This is something that drives every parent absolutely up the wall. You give a clear direction. You make sure to look your kid straight in the eye. You even try to say it in your calmest, clearest voice. But then, just a few minutes later, it's like your words have vanished into thin air. You can't help but start wondering, were they even listening to me? Do they just not care at all? Why do I feel like a broken record, repeating myself for the fifth time? But here's the thing. Psychology paints a very different picture from the one frustration draws. Kids aren't forgetting because they're lazy or careless. Their brains simply aren't wired the same way as adults. This is where things get tricky for us grown-ups. We tend to think of instructions like files on a computer. We hear something, we save it, and we can pull it up whenever we need to. It feels automatic. So when a child forgets what we said, it's easy to jump to conclusions. They weren't paying attention. They're being defiant on purpose. They just don't put in the effort. But that's not really how a child's mind operates. Let's look at what's actually happening inside their heads. Kids' working memory, the brain's short-term holding zone, is still under construction. It's not as robust or reliable as an adult's. Think of working memory as a mental sticky note that temporarily holds instructions just long enough for us to act on them. The challenge is for kids, that sticky note is tiny. It fills up fast, it gets overloaded easily, and it can slip away in an instant. So when you say, "Put your shoes away, wash your hands and come eat," their brain might only manage to hold on to the first part. The rest? It just disappears, replaced by a new thought or distraction. Speaking of distractions, let's talk about those. Kids aren't ignoring you out of spite. Their brains are naturally tuned to chase whatever's most interesting or stimulating. Movement, noise, sudden sounds, their own wild ideas. Your instructions have to compete with all of that, and most of the time, they lose the battle. So what do most of us do? We repeat ourselves, this time louder. We add a little more urgency or frustration to our voice. Maybe we even tack on extra instructions, hoping something will finally stick. But here's the kicker. Raising your voice doesn't make their memory capacity any bigger. It just adds stress to the situation. And stress? It actually makes memory even weaker. That's why yelling tends to lead to even more forgetting, and not to better listening. So what really helps? Keep it simple. Reduce, connect, anchor. Break instructions down into one clear step at a time. Before you speak, get close to your child. Make eye contact. Say their name. Draw their attention gently. Once you've given the instruction, ask them to repeat it back. Not as a test, but as a way to help their brain lock it in. That's how you make the message stick. There's more. Visual cues can make a big difference. A picture on the wall, a checklist, or a physical object can help remind them what comes next. Simple routines and predictable steps help, too. Kids remember what they see and do over and over far more than what they're told once or twice. This approach isn't about lowering expectations or making excuses. It's about matching your requests to the stage of brain growth your child is actually in. So here's the real takeaway. When kids forget what you said, it's not a sign of disrespect. It's a natural part of development. If you work with their brains instead of fighting against them, you'll find yourself repeating instructions far less often. And your relationship will feel lighter, too. Give it a try today. Seriously, these small changes can make a big difference. And remember, memory grows best through connection, not correction. Every connection you make with your child helps their brain develop and helps them remember. Not just what you said, but that you're on their side.